Okay, we're back at row scale A&G Green Ash Subdivision. So, it is almost a late morning right now, so it is time to do our passenger work instead of freight work. And we're not doing just a cargo mode and some kind of big box cars or something. And let's do the Outtrack infringements. And if we're gonna be doing the passenger work, there must be the F40PH, the train number 996. That must be the favorite number of this kind of vehicle, just like the 996 GT1, known as the exact race car from any years ago since 1998 or 1997. So let's couple up with some passengers, and already the passengers have been aboard inside this train, so let's head to move on to our internal site and let's get on to our insane infringement of railways. So I'm about to give it a go and let's see what happens, and we're not going to do it happen again, so it's really not working for this track switching like some I really think that we don't really think that I'm going to be reversing at this moment, so this train should make ourselves to get back and forth before our next competitions. And even the passengers are really low, so I'm just going to be full throttle at this moment, so reverse that. And wait a second, is that actually a game pass? And really, passenger work is absolutely a game pass. And we're not going to move forward, so the 1996 train is not moving because the passenger requires a game pass. So I really need to stop at this moment, so I'm not going to be reversed at this moment, so I'm just going to be trying, but still freight work as well. Now I'm using the CSX trains, and looks like we're gonna be pulling some cargo cars and even some flatbed cars around the world. So we're gonna be pulling some cars without the Autotracks as well. So if we're going to be bringing some cars, and actually we need more power, and it should be enough by this way, and this way should not able to do anyways. If I'm going to be using the Autotracks or something, it will be much more heavy than I ever thought, so I'm going to be bearing that in mind. So let's head on and move to our destination in the freight yard. So we're gonna be moving around the map, and we're not trying to do anything but worse. We're coming up to the intersection, and we're probably going to be passing it, and we're about to slow things down to 50% for throttle. And we're not going to be speeding things up, and anything just happened just before we actually went there, and looks like the cargo things had just went left, and we just got even last a few more cargos to go until the job is over. It turns out it was turned absolutely worse, but unfortunately the train should be turned in the turnaround loop. And just before that, until arrival at this turnaround loop for the same time, so until nighttime, until it's going to be back again, and we're going around here and this one, and I'm going to be returned back into the spawn as well until I make sure I'm going to stay for a few hours long, until this is going to be a longest journey until hitting 200% at throttle for this time. Since we're not going to the intersection, and by the way, it's got to be late or something, and the freight cars are looking not so much, but it's kind of bit a less of these trains. And look how there are, and their cargo cars are almost empty as well. And we got some Autotracks, and we got the CSX1, and we gotta work things to do and make our way cells are far away down, and it's kind of a bit more louder, and this is gonna be much stressful, and it will be taking for a long drive until midnight. It will be arrived at way soon. As soon as we get there, there's not gonna be an announcer anytime, and there's gonna be a crossing, and this is have to be a going for a long journey for this time. We're passing around the village, and there's going to be much more miles to go until we arrive there at the same time. So if I have to find ourselves to find our destination before, this is gonna be much more worth it as well. And there is lots of more things to do, and we went for the yard. The train has stopped right here at this yard after you announce so it goes, and because we have detect route on this site, and if we're going to be returning around there, and make sure I'm already going to be passing the factory, so we're going to be detecting. I'm not going to do something right now, so let's keep on moving until if we wait for a few more minutes to come until midnight comes, and it will be arrive at there soon. And before that, this is not going to be a waiting for this, and we have to detect 1 and total cars, and we just got an actual Autotracks, and we're just going to be pulling some more, and we're not having enough time, and the cargo ones are going to be almost empty, so we're still having much time and we're not able to do so. And anyway, let's continue down the road, and I'm being waited for a few hours more or a few minutes. Since we waited for a few more minutes and it's about time to departure, and let's continue off down to the railroad, and this is not going to be worth it as well. And I can see 1 player down here at the railroad, and let's continue off and hit to 50% per throttle. And I can hear the diesel screaming, hissing away down into the line. We still have Autotracks to go, and we got a few more Autotracks and a lot sane of cargo. There's 1 player on the block just trying to join itself, and looks like it's going to be spawning a terrible situation. And who's going to be going now? A terrible situation like the same train? Or it may look like a terrible as well. Let's get on to it, and before we're arriving at the real station, and I'm going to make you sure that you already know about trains, and you see the moon will be coming down for the next couple of hours or even minutes as well. We're almost there. That's since that he left the game, and looks like we're almost arrived into this station, but we're almost miles away and a few more yards to our station when I started away. And this is where I officially started when I used some other test locomotives that I'm pulling some trailer trucks and some other kinds of stuff, and we cannot able to do the box cars or some kinds of sorts of lumber. And even this is going to be much more stressful that I wasn't able to do sometimes. And we got some everything for tank cars just but now, and the train just hitting to 100%, and looks like we're going to be hitting towards to the test locomotives, and I'm going to be moving to these trains into a proper ways, and I'm not going to be doing as well, and I'm going to make sure that the train will be arrived at just very moment. And I'm just pleased that make sure I'm going to be slowing down for this train. The switcher has been complete, and I'm about to get slowed down, and I'm not going speeding as well, and I'm pretty sure that not going to be so much when the train just stopped right there. And this is going to be much more than I ever think. There's 1 slug over there, and the train will be stopped right over here. So if the announcers come again, maybe I actually going to be stay here with some Autotracks, and I won't able to derail, and we're gonna be taking some away with these kinds of stuff like this just after the turnaround loop, and we just made an accident because of speeding as well. I really don't know that. I'm not sure that I'm going to cope with these a kind of aggressive Norfolk Southern. And just we're gonna be reversing this thing, so everything just got on blue, and we're just being so fine, and we're not going to be doing like accidents, and we're not being such a such a really long time for just going to do a bad luck, and we're not really do, and instead of this really big long trains. And for sometimes I'm going to be stopped right here, and let's switch to another train, number 4012, and we got is 5102 and 841 train, which is exactly what is allowed to train. And where'd the train go? And there is a one big problem. There are two players had joined the game, so I am pretty sure they're going to stop right there. So even the train cars are really heavy. And looks like we're gonna be reversing this down, and we're not going to make things very much happening, I guess. I guess we're not going to be doing anything that I should able to do so. Since I stopped the train right here, and I'm not sure the train is literally too long expected for the Autotracks as well. Even the cargo must be long as well, so I won't able to do well at this. So that's at the end of this video. So by the way, so thank you for watching, and please sure that the game link is in the description below. So have you enjoy for this video for today. So even though I'm going to be much for entire work, so even the passenger work requires for a game pass. If I'm going to be leaving the server and this guy won't be able to leave the server as well, I'm going to hand over like this, and the sun will be coming up as well. So thank you for watching and for all your support, which will be Turbo Concept will be signing off, and have fun with these trains. So even especially follow the rules, and I'm going to be talk to you guys soon, and I'm going to be talk to you all later.